All right, in part one of this tutorial, we used TaskMagic to scrape all of this data. Got the URLs, so we scraped post titles, meta description, publish date, and image URL. Now the next step is I want to get the actual content of the blog posts. Let me just get back to refresh where we were. So here's like the blog homepage. We scraped all of this information. Now I want to hop into each of these articles and scrape the actual content. So we're going to do that in step 2 of this tutorial. All right. So now we're going to we got to prep our sheet, right? Because we need to give TaskMagic a sheet to work with. So we've got our each of the article links here, and we're just going to rescrape in terms of like what we're doing next. I'll just do the post title again, just so I keep track of everything. And then we're going to get the content in here. All right, cool. I've already shared this automation. Remember, every time you have a Google Sheet, you need to share it with automations@taskmagic.com to connect it. So we've already done that, taken care of that. And you also need the first row to be headers, and that's how TaskMagic is going to match up what you're doing with the data it collects. So we're going to hop into TaskMagic now, and I'm going to use the web. Hopefully the camera on this one, we're not going to use anything to log in there. All right, awesome. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first link. So to start off, we're going to have to feed TaskMagic a link to go to, a URL. And then after we set up the automation, we can replace that with a variable. So we're going to take this link, and it's going to be here. I just want to bring back the Chromium window. I'm going to head that in there. Save our go-to URL, and boom, it takes us to our blog post. So now we said we're going to scrape that data. We've got title and content, right? So we're going to scrape a list, actually single, because it's going to do this thing for each one of the, it's going to go down the list. So we're going to scrape single, and the first thing we're going to scrape is column A. We're going to take our title. Okay, and then add new column is going to be, I just want to make sure it's the right, see, you got to make sure you're backing out a little bit to grab all of the content. If I just grab this, it would be just this paragraph. If I just grab this, it would be just this image or this. So we have to like play around and make sure that it's grabbing all the data we want, except not more than we're looking for. And I think this is what I'd have to do. As you can see, the green lines show you what element you're taking, and GrooveBlog incorporates as the article all through the title. It doesn't separate out the content. So we'll have to just figure out a way after the fact to clean up the content, and by removing the title and the date. So not a problem. So we'll just click this, and that's going to be our content. We're going to hit confirm. Okay, then hit I'm done. So that's our automation. We're going to go to our link page, each of the URLs, scrape, in this instance, the title, and then the actual content. All right, so I'm going to go first to, I want to send this to Google Sheets. I'm going to copy the URL of this. So I'm going to go copy link, head back to TaskMagic, and then it's going to ask me which sheet. I'm going to choose in this one. We're doing sheet 2, and here, so step 2 and step 3. No. I need check again. I don't want it to go to. Okay. All right, let's just go back to the sheet. And why is it doing that? I want it to just record. I need step 2 to go to column B and step 3 to be column C. All right, so you know what? Let's try a workaround. Let's go back to the steps, recapture steps. Okay. And oh, okay. I think I know what I did wrong here. I'm gonna go back here. Let's just exit this recording. So this is, I'm making an error in real time. So you just gotta think about these things differently. So these links are coming from the first sheet, right? So I'm gonna use the first sheet as my variable. Let's just put it here. I'm gonna do this. I wanna clip this. And then I'm gonna add our links here. So that's gonna feed our second page, right? The automation. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this column. And so since we scraped everything in the first automation, now we're just gonna use this first sheet to inform our second sheet. So let's go back to the automation. All right. Let's recapture. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to go back to sheet 1 and I'm going to copy a link to scrape. Copy that. Okay, cool. Now we're going to head back to TaskMagic and I'm going to recapture steps. All right, my window should be setting up. And we're gonna go to that first there. Then we're gonna scrape the list. Again, we're getting the title and the content. So column A is gonna be my title. Did I do scrape list? Wait, let me cancel this. Cancel. It's scraped item, single. Okay. So the first one is going to be here, and then add new column is, again, we're going to take all the content and we're going to confirm that. Once I got that, I'm done. Okay, so again, we're going to go to the URL page. It's going to scrape. In this instance, we're doing the title again just because, and then we're going to scrape all of the content. Okay, so now we're going to go to send to Google Sheets. I need my URL, so I'll copy that URL, which I've already shared with TaskMagic. All right, select worksheet. Again, the data we're scraping from this automation is going to go to sheet 2, and then again, the title is going to be step 2, and then our content, step 3, looks good. Trigger. Again, if you want to schedule a trigger, that's something you're going to do on a regular basis. Maybe back up your blog posts from Groove every week or every day, whatever the case is. Or you can just do it one time, whatever the case is. Not a big deal. So we'll do that list. Okay. Continue anyways. All right, again, if you want to set it up based on a Google Sheet, we can do that. All right, we're going to use the same sheet 1 is going to be the thing that's feeding us. Okay, looks good. And again, we're going to use column E post link to feed our variables. Looks good. Okay, continue. Now we go back here, and this is the last step before the automation. We're going to, well, not the last step. We're going to edit this, and we're going to delete. Remember, we're replacing the URL with a variable, which is going to be post link, right? So we want TaskMagic to scrape each of the links. We're going to go there and save. Okay. And then we want to loop to go down and do all of it. I think we had 42, so we're going to say 41 rows. I'll just do 42. I don't know. Okay. Continue. And I think that's our automation. Now, the last thing we're going to do is the loop here. Every time it goes back, well, it's going to loop all the way. So we're just going to go here. Let's say there were steps here where you're using the same page or something like that. Then you don't need to go back loop to step 1. It could be starting the loop from step 3, step 4, step 5. So if you got some like certain steps that are not going to be changing, then your loop will start at the first step that's going to change. In this instance, this first step is always going to change, so we got to go back to the beginning of the automation. All right, so I think we're good with that. We've got everything set up. Let's play the steps. Just keep in mind, within TaskMagic, as you're running an automation, for instance, you can head to these details to see, in this instance, what loop it's on, or what's going on if you are encountering any errors, to try to diagnose where there might be an error. As you can see, there were, I think, 42 loops that we're going to go through right now, 2.5 minutes in, and we're on loop 17. And we're back. All right, so as you can see here, it took 6 minutes, just under 7 minutes to run through all 42 loops or whatever. I think the last one probably didn't exist. But let's see what we have in terms of our data. Everything was posted to sheet 2, and as you can see, all of our post content is here. So a very good, easy way to sort of back up your blog post. In this instance, for instance, there's no direct way, or what's the word I'm looking for? Built-in way, native way rather, to, inside of GrooveBlog to back up blog posts. So this is one way to get it done. Not perfect, because in this instance, I have to figure out a way, like, it's not incorporating the images that I have in my articles. As you can see, like, all these images are not being included here. So my next step is going to be figuring out how to scrape either the articles in Markdown or HTML to also incorporate the images. But notwithstanding, at a minimum, to just get my blogs in a, like, back it up in a safe place so I can transfer it or use it in a different way, it's right here. So this is incredibly awesome. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions, please share them in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. If there's anything you want me to try as an automation, I'd love to hear that as well. And if you'd like to pick up TaskMagic for yourself and get an account, again, it's a really powerful and useful tool, especially if you're doing, there's stuff you do online. You can create automations to sort of offset or offload that work where you don't have to do it a lot, and very easy to use. Once you start figuring out, just click here, click there, and then connecting different automations, it gets really easy and really fun. So you can drop in my link, comments or description if you want to sign up for an account. It probably is an affiliate link, so I'll get a small commission. Doesn't change what you pay, but I will get a small cut from if you do sign up for an account. Anyways, again, drop your comments below. Thank you so much for taking the time and energy for checking this out. And until next time, take care, be well, bye for now.